Hey there, let's just pretend it hasn't been like a year since I last posted here and get over the awkward explanation part. Is that okay? Great. So, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 has finally hit the theaters and I am excited. Aren't you excited? Yes. We are excited because this means it is finally over. It's done. Never again will the cinema be plagued with fangless, sparkly vampires glowing in the sunlight. At least until they make a spin-off. Or a remake. But until that happens, this is cause for celebration, yo. Okay, first let's do a little recap of what happened in Breaking Dawn Part 1. They had a wedding, Bella got pregnant, Bella had a baby, Bella turned into a vampire. The end. And this sounds like a lot, but it wasn't really, because 90% of that film was carried by people meaningfully staring at each other. That film was not only painfully boring to watch, but also did a lousy job at distracting us from the fact that this is a teenage girl marrying an 100-something-year-old dude because, and trust me my friends, this is the reason why she's marrying him, he would not fuck her. Because he's afraid that if they have unwedded sex, she would damn her soul to hell. Yeah, no amount of meaningful stares can make us ignore how everybody in the film is acting like an idiot. I mean, what kind of mother is beaming with pride upon hearing that her not even 18-year-old daughter is getting married? Instead of saying, girl, if you bring this up again within the next 5 to 10 years, I must slap some sense into you now, grab your damn backpack and go to school. But no, that doesn't happen because we live in the Twilight universe, where vampires glitter and unmarried sex is sinful and teenage weddings are cool. So what happens next? Namely in the Breaking Dawn Part 2? Nothing. Literally nothing happens. Now, fair warning, there will be some major spoilers coming up, but you know what? If you care about me spoiling Twilight for you, I'm sorry, but you and I cannot be friends no more. So, Bella is a vampire now, which technically happened in the first part.
After 18 years of being utterly ordinary, I finally found I could shine.
Yeah, literally, in the sunlight. And Bella and Edward now have a child, which again technically happened in the first part.
She grows every single day.
And Jacob, who to everyone's dismay is not even once shirtless, has imprinted on the kid, meaning they're like soulmates or something. They tried to downplay it as much as they could, but seriously, you look at a newborn baby and you immediately think, oh, I'm gonna fuck that when it grows up. It's just, dude, you're creepy. Shut up, go away. Actually, come back, take your shirt off.
Too sexy for my shirt.
Creepy! So the evil Volturi obviously find out about the child from a cousin we never care about.
I have to report a crime. The Cullens, they've done something terrible.
And at first they think that the Cullens made an immortal child, like they turned the child into a vampire, which by vampire law or something is illegal. So they're like, we're gonna kill them all! Then eventually they realize that Renesmee is not a vampire child. Yes, the kid's name is Renesmee, her parents hated her, I don't know, don't even bother with it, it's not like everything else makes sense in the movie. So when the Volturi finds that the child has been born not bitten, they're like, we are still gonna kill them all! Because that's what evil vampires who look like pimps do. Have I mentioned how one-dimensional every single character is? So there's all this build-up for the epic battle. The Cullens are going around the world recruiting vampires with different superpowers. Well, they call them talents, but really they're superpowers. My dear Twilight X-Men, you are not. There is this one character in the film who's kinda cool for the sole reason that he's the only vampire in this freaking vampire saga who actually bites and drains a human. By the way, I don't think that any of the vampires ever show fangs in none of the 5 films. What the hell is up with that? I mean, a fangless vampire must be as effective as a dickless gigolo. But who cares about details? We have an epic battle to distract us. So we're getting worked up for the battle and the Volturi are coming and they're all wearing black hoods. Because that's what evil people wear. You know, kind of like a villain uniform. So they arrive with their black hoods and then they pull down their black hoods dramatically. And then they just start talking. And you're like, is there gonna be a battle anytime soon? And then there's a battle. And it's pretty cool. You don't see any blood, of course, but you see heads being ripped off and somebody splits the ground open and people fall into it and Bella has this shield superpower going on and they're fighting and you're like, okay, this is kinda cool, I'm enjoying myself now, this is fun, this can work. Except there's no battle happening. All of it was just a vision. Alice had a vision. Who the fuck is Alice? And the Volturi are just scared shitless by that vision. So they pull their black hoods back on, dramatically, and then they go home. That's it. Like I said, nothing actually happened in this film. Nothing. There was all this build-up for the epic battle and then no battle happened. Not really. They just got together, talked a little, with their hoods on, then went home. Nothing changed, nobody died, the end. Oh yeah, somebody died. That annoying cousin nobody cared about, yeah, she died. Boo-hoo. Overall, was this a fun movie? A little. But was it worth watching? Not unless you're a Twilight fan. And if you are one, what are you doing on my channel, man? Go do, like, homework. To be fair, as Twilight movies go, if you're, like, comparing train wrecks, this is probably the coolest. You see Bella finally growing out of being a useless whiny bitch and actually kicking some ass. She even fights like a mountain lion. The acting, though, hasn't improved much. Who the hell farted? Look, I'm running in slow motion while smelling a turd. And then there's the fake battle, which, again, to be fair, it's pretty cool in its fakeness, as fake battles go, I guess. So overall, it's bad. I cannot defend it. It's not as horrible as the last one, but it's... no. One thing I can say about Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 is that it's not as bad as the next film I'm going to review. So stay tuned for that, because I'm probably gonna spare you the worst cinema experience of your lifetime. I'm not even overplaying it. See you in a few days.